Hey guys, welcome back to 633RC. We recently reviewed or unboxed the FMS LC80 1:10 scale, and today we've got the Yikong Y4107. I think it's the 4107. It's a take off the Nissan Patrol. It's not licensed, but for all practical purposes, it's a Nissan Patrol. I think it's the Y61 model. Really nice looking rig. It comes with some nice features as well, and the reason I'm mentioning the FMS LC80 is because the Patrol and the LC80 were competitors. I mean, these rigs were two of the most sought after, especially in Australia, and they're very, very popular. So yeah, let's have a look at the body first, or the car itself. It comes with a 10 channel Dumbo RC receiver. We have a look at that. It's the typical, we've seen these used on a lot of different models. They're very popular. It's got a little lid that opens up with some toggle switches for settings and your trim and endpoint settings, etc. It's got a plethora of switches that you can use. It's got two turn knobs, which are quite nice to use for other, like if you want to add a winch or anything other than that. It's got 3 way switches. It's got a few push button switches. It's a nice remote. They're decent. I like the fact that they've included a Dumbo RC remote. They're decent remotes. I managed to somehow misplace my manual that came with the car. I already took the car out of the box, as mentioned in my FMS video. A lot of my cars that arrived, the boxes were damaged, and I had to take out the cars and see that they are fine and not damaged themselves. Luckily, not one of the cars were damaged, but yes, I don't have the box, and somehow I have misplaced my manual. It did come with a sticker sheet. The sticker sheet, a lot of the stickers, they already at the factory put it on the car. As you can see, I did not put it on. It came like this. It's got a few extra stickers. There's some nice Nissan Dakar stickers on there. That's going to look really good on this car. I'll be adding that on a little bit later on. But yeah, to get into the car, it's got a really nice broad stance. If you look at it from the front, big wheel arches, gives it that nice menacing off-road look. The shocks, if I have to compare, and I know I'm not supposed to compare it with the FMS, this has got, as an example, this has got locking diffs front and rear. It's got a 2-speed. It's got a DEG function. It's quite an interesting DEG function. I'll explain that a little bit later on. It also has a light kit, but yeah, out of the box, these shocks are not the same as the FMS in terms of, yeah, they feel a little bit more springy. It's not that they don't have oil, that they jumpy. It's just they unload it. It's a stiffer spring. I think that's the main thing. It's quite a thick spring on there, so I think it's just a stiffer spring. Springs can always be adjusted and or replaced, but looking at it, I mean, it's a really nice looking rig. It is a nostalgic Nissan Patrol. And if I'm going to 3D print a little badge to put on there, just to give it that really traditional Nissan look. But it also comes with an interior. It does not have the extra detail like in the FMS where you've got the gear levers and knobs, but it's got some nice stickers in there. It looks good. I mean, I can't complain. It's got an interior. Most of the guys never did interiors, and now Yikong, FMS, RGT, they're all doing interiors, which is a nice addition. Looking at the plastic molded pieces on this, we've got folding mirrors. They don't have actual mirror pieces, but I do see it's white at the moment there, so I'm assuming there should be mirror pieces that I should attach still. Just want to check the sticker sheet if there's something on there. We do have something here that might look like a mirror piece. Not sure, but I'll check. It seems like there's supposed to be mirror pieces on there. Then we have the roof rack. We've got an LED light bar. We do have wiper blades. We've got obviously the nice off-road bumper, which I do like. We have got rock sliders on the side. You can see there. Going to the rear, I'm actually not sure what you call this. Another plastic molded piece on there. We've got the bumper, and we have the tail lights with light buckets. So there is working LEDs in this, which we will check out in a bit. Comes with bead. It's not a bead lock rim. It is a glued rim. It's a Hyrax lookalike tire. I do not like the rims. I'm not sold on them. I will be replacing them, but these tires are quite firm, and I don't think it's if I feel on the side, if I press down, it's not necessarily the tire itself. I think it's the foam on the inside which is quite firm. It feels very hard, and with it being a glued on, it's not something that I can easily just replace. I'll have to take it apart. So yeah, that's one of my gripes with it. But in terms of looks, it is a real looker. I love the rig. I've always been a fan of a Nissan Patrol and a Land Cruiser. Like I said, they are nostalgic rigs. This car has got a body mount system where it swivels on the back, and it's got a screw in the front that loosens. Before I do that, let's just have a look at the chassis. As you can see, the chassis has it does have a four-link system. It does have a panhard in the rear as well as in the front. The axles are actually quite scale looking. They really do look nice. They've got that nice round pumpkin. I like that. Very, very nice. It's got if you can see there, it's got a steering dampener which doubles up as a servo saver, and that actually has a proper shock in it. It's really nice. I don't know how that's going to work in terms of more strenuous routes, and if you get bound up, if that's going to be a hindrance or if it's going to just save the servo. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. If you look at the rear, you'll notice there's the rear panhard or stabilizer, and then we also have these two cables running down to the portals. So these are portal axles, but I have to say, looking at them like that, you don't really notice the portals just because of the way it is spaced out, the way the axle looks. It's such a nice scale looking axle that you don't really notice that it's portals. Those cables, as I mentioned, the reason for those cables are they have got, on each wheel, they have got a caliper and brake system. So basically how this works is, if you activate the dig function, well, I call it a dig. I don't know if it really is. It's not a proper dig as we know it. Basically, if you turn left, it will grab onto that caliper, onto the disc, and this wheel will be slowed down, the left rear wheel, which means obviously the car will be turning a little bit easier or sharper to the left. If you turn to the right, the same thing's going to happen. And if you've got the car in locked diffs front and rear, it will automatically unlock the rear diff the moment you activate the dig function to be able to grab that one wheel and have it slow down so that you can turn a little bit sharper. So it's quite an ingenious idea. How well it works practically, we'll have to see on the trail. But yeah, it's a nice feature. Going back to the chassis, the prop shafts look decent. They look nice and beefy. I don't have a problem with that. Even the links as well, nice and big, beefy links. They look decent. The chassis rails are plastic. Yes, they are plastic. You don't see a lot of rig with plastic chassis rails. I think MST at one point did plastic. I don't know if they still do plastic chassis rails, which is quite interesting. We'll have a look at them now. As you can see, the body swivels open, swivel mount. It has got in the rear, it's got a 25 kg servo for those calipers, it's quite a beefy servo, metal geared servo, just to activate those calipers. I'm assuming the steering servo will also be a 25 kg servo, a nice strong servo. It does not say on here. I'll have to check the specs. I'll put it in the comments or in the description section. So as you can see, that is plastic chassis rails, but they are beefy, they are thick, and they are solid. They are not hollow, and which I have to say probably they're going to be light, which is an advantage. But they've got so much bracing in several points here. I mean, there's a brace in the front, there's a brace, there's one, there's another one, and there's another one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 brace points for this chassis. So it is rigid. It is not, this is the bumper twisting, not the actual chassis. The chassis is very rigid. And then yes, we have our 2-speed servo there for the gearbox. We've got the rear diff and we've got the front diff to actuate. So all in all, I mean, the chassis looks decent. I don't have a problem with the fact that it's plastic. It does feel quite rigid. One gripe I have, and this is only because I've seen what FMS does with their chassis, is all the wiring is really neatly tucked away. This is not tucked away, this is zip tied on here. You see a lot of wires. I think that could have been done better. Looking again, I'm using FMS as a comparison, but I think they've done it really well. What I do like is the fact that you've got multiple shock mounting positions on this rig, front and rear. So you've got 7 mounting positions front, and you've got 5 mounting positions in the rear that you can adjust your shocks. The shocks are aluminium, full aluminium shocks. They do look decent, apart from that, the fact that I think the springs feel a little bit stiff. I think a softer spring would be better. But yeah, let's pop a battery in here and then see what the light kit looks like. Okay guys, so we've got a battery in the car. Let's have a look at the light kit. So okay, so we've got a first mode, which is basically just our daylight running lights, which I do dig. I know I mentioned on the FMS I like the nostalgic old school yellow lights, but on this specific rig, the way it's been done with the bigger wheel arches, everything, it looks like an old school rig that's been modded already. So it fits it. I think it fits this specific rig. I like the round daylight running halo headlights. It's also got nice bright roof light bar, and then we've got the full headlights with the ring lights still on, and then we've got our indicators as well. Let's have a look at the rear. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we've got brake and reverse. Yes, so we've got brake and reverse, which is a nice feature. Having just felt the car now, the speed, I think that's second gear. Let's have a look. Okay, so that seems like second. That seems like first. Let's have a look. I don't expect much from this ESC. It is a 1060 generic ESC. Not the greatest ESCs for crawling, but let's try and get it as slow as we can. This has obviously got portal axles, it's got the dig function, it's got front and rear locking diff, so it's got a lot more features than the FMS, but in terms of electronics, I prefer the FMS electronics. Again, it's not bad. This is a little bit noisier than the FMS, but again, it's not bad. Flex, it's got enough flex, wheel travel. Let's have a look at the servo. It doesn't feel bad. I mean, I'm pushing down quite hard on it. I do believe it would be a 25 kg servo, seeing as they used a 25 kg Metal Gear servo for the dig function in the rear. I would assume they would at least use a 25 kg servo for the steering. Let's have a look at the locking diffs. At the moment, if I'm not mistaken, it is unlocked. Yeah, let's check the front. Okay, diffs are unlocked. Let's lock the diffs. Yeah, there we go. So diffs are locked. Let's check the front. Yeah, okay, so diffs are switched on via these two knobs on the top. I like the fact that when they actually glow that the diffs are locked. Let's have a look at the dig function. Okay, so that's now been activated. So it's supposed to now, when I turn, deactivate. There we can see. Turning right, turning rear. So it's basically grabbing onto that caliper. That caliper is grabbing onto the disc, keeping the car from, let's see on the bench what it does. So you can see that left is still turning, but it's not actually activated. It is grabbing onto it, but it's not physically dragging the wheel. So there's a lot of traction on here, so I'm assuming we're not going to really get an idea on the bench. But on loose surfaces, this should actually be turning a lot sharper. I see that going in reverse, it actually let's see, it actually locks up. That's going forward, it doesn't lock up properly, but going in reverse, it actually locks up that diff. So we'll have to see how that works on the trail. But yeah, all in all, guys, I think the Yikong YK4107 Patrol is a very nice looking rig. Again, I love old school nostalgic 4x4s. We'll see how it performs. It's got more clearance than the FMS. Actually, let me put them next to each other so that you can get an idea in terms of putting them head to head. You'll see that this has got a bit more clearance in terms of the bumper, so this is probably going to be a better approach and departure angle, I would imagine. The FMS has got a longer backside than what the Patrol does. Let's put them next to each other. You can get an idea of the height. So this is a little bit lower, this is a little bit higher. There you get a very good idea of the clearance of the bumper. So the FMS is not going to have the approach angle that the Patrol is going to have. Not, again, like I say, not supposed to compare them, but at the end they are two 1 to 10 scale rigs. This is going to be about a 2,000 rands more than what this is. The Patrol is going to be 2,000 rands more than what the FMS is going to be, but it's got a lot more features. Either way, I end up putting fusion motors in all of my rigs, so I'm not too bothered by the electronics, even though I think the electronics in here is not bad at all. But I'll end up putting in a fusion, be it an 1800 or a 2300 Pro, into either one of these rigs, or even maybe the new Hobby 2-in-1, which I'll be getting soon. I think that's also going to be a good option. So guys, yeah, having looked at both these rigs over the last while, I think, just check that that doesn't fall off there. I think they're both great rigs. I think they're great options. I think the price point is very competitive compared to what the more expensive brands out there are asking for their cars. I've got Traxxas cars, I've got Axial cars. I just think that, RGT and FMS, Yikong, there's Relala, there's so many brands out there that have really upped their game. And if RGT and Axial are not going to start, not RGT, Traxxas and Axial, if they don't start doing something new, something unique, they are going to lose a huge market share, I'm sure. And unfortunately, these days, the Chinese and the Taiwanese, these guys are bringing out awesome looking rigs. There's I don't know how many of you saw the Hong Kong trade show or the Hobby Expo in China, and there were some epic rigs that are coming out. I'm looking forward to a lot of, before the end of this year, there's going to be some epic rigs being released. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a great year for new releases, and especially these guys are pumping out new rigs like almost every quarter now. So a lot of excitement in the hobby industry. Let's see what happens. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining. Like and subscribe, it does help the channel. See you on the next one. Cheers.